And hello everyone. Hello Galeas.
Hi everyone, cool trailer, right?
Yeah, very cool trailer.
Pretty awesome. So here we are back in the studio for our fifth stream of AION Classic? Sixth stream? I lost track at some point. Yeah, welcome everyone. We'll give everyone a few minutes to settle in, just grab a drink and everything. And what will we be covering today?
Well, today we will talk about the new update 2. Actually, wait, we forgot about someone.
There is an empty seat, right? So do we have someone to fit in that seat?
I think we have. We're coming back.
We're back.
Don't leave. Don't worry, it's not over.
Okay, so special guest incoming.
Okay,
should we make a countdown? 3, 2.
First, did you find out who it is? Do you know?
Who is the special guest?
He's here. We're not lying. It's not a sugar.
Asylon. Hey, it could have been Asylon actually. Yeah.
Graphics.
Skull is in the chat. How can he be in the chat and with Manuel Neuer? Yeah, very good. Fellow Graphics. No, it's not Fellow Graphics. I see the name, so some people are correct.
So some of you found out.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go for it. And it's Project. Congrats to those who won.
So
hello, Project.
Before we start, maybe we introduce ourselves again. I'm Galeas, former community manager and now in charge of influencers for AION. And
so hello, I'm Dredgion, a community manager on AION for a few years now, and I've taken over after Galeas. And who might you be, dear sir?
Yeah, I'm an AION player in first place.
That's the goal.
Yeah,
random AION player.
Indeed, I have a very odd name, long history behind it. I will not bore you with it, but yeah, I'm also new to streaming, relatively new, not that new anymore, and I'm very much into details, theory crafting, analyzing very small things, and since we're talking about Patchnotes today, I think I got the opportunity and the invitation to maybe dive into some of these details.
So yeah, as usual, so you're gonna be the game specialist today, and me and Dredgion will focus more on asking the questions, presenting the global picture,
making jokes.
And yeah, as we said last time, we had Fellow over, and we really want to get into that direction of having people from the community, because there is no one that knows the games more than those guys that have been playing for a very long time, are really into everything. And yeah, how about we get going? What's on the menu today?
Sure. So now that we introduced everyone, sorry. So yeah, we will go over the patch notes. So they are not live yet. You won't be able to have them yourselves. They will come a bit later, hopefully soon. But
patience, my friends.
So yeah, we won't be revealing the date today. I know.
Again?
I know.
You're scamming me every time. I come here, I'm expecting a date, and I don't have a date.
No, sorry. No date today. It's been pretty fun to see the guessing game on Discord and social medias.
I mean, if you know, you know.
Of course.
It's not that hard to guess. But yeah, as usual, it's coming soon. Of course, that's why we're making the stream.
That's why we have the stream right now.
Making the final checks, and whenever we are 100% sure that everything is rolling, then of course we will announce on the usual channels. I can already think of something we forgot. Well,
Yes.
Didn't mention yet.
So it also, as usual, like we like to do this during our streams, we will have a code to have a few items that you can have in game. The code will be the name of the update. So if you have been following the trailer, it will be Rise of the Revenant. We might want to write it down so that we're sure that you can.
Wait a second.
Revenant.
Oh. Yes.
Oh.
See, we have the same reaction. What's? I was told that people anticipated the class name to be something different. Executioner.
We might at first have wanted to have the Executioner as a name, but we ended up finding out that Revenant was better for the lore and just overall as a name. I personally prefer Revenant over Executioner. That might not be the case for everyone.
Matter of personal preference,
yeah, that's
right?
it, exactly. So totally honest, but yeah, lore-wise, I think it made more sense to have the Revenant. So yeah, we won't have the Executioner in Europe. We will have the Soldier and the Revenant.
But I guess it was the case in NA, right?
America did exactly
yeah,
the
they
same
also
thing.
called it like that. So yeah, for once we are following America.
So the code is Ride of the
What's-
Revenant. I wrote it in chat. To activate it, you go in the shop in-game, and you have the redeem code option. You write this, and you will get a few consumables. It's nothing too huge, but it's a few food buffs. Sorry, buffing food. Should I say in this order?
However you like. You're the boss.
Some food that will give you buffs.
Yes.
So yeah. We will have, as usual, a few coupons to give. So there will be 10 euros coupons. There will be 3 in total. So,
But that will
the
come
usual
a bit
raffle.
later,
Yeah,
right?
a bit later, of course. We
Yeah.
won't give
So stay
everything out at
tuned,
first.
and yeah, at some point we will raffle those coupons.
Yeah. So, yeah. What do we say? We jump into the patch notes right now. So,
And I guess this is when I leave. Because you
Actually,
don't need me, right?
it's not that we hate you, Galeas.
I'm useless. No, people don't need me anymore. Okay, it's all good.
I'm just gonna. Yep.
I'm gonna go sit on the couch next year, and then maybe I will come back at some point. And I will just
Yeah.
enjoy the show like everyone else.
Not worry. I plan some work for you.
All right. Okay, let's go.
So let's go. Let's do the little elevator music.
Well,
Do, 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 do.
all right. Let's see.
Okay, so let's come back, and this time with the patch notes. So here it is. Here we are. Yep. I showed a bit more. And so, Project, thank you again for being here with us.
Thanks for the invitation. It's,
It's very nice. As Galeas mentioned, we love to have content creators. So we sent you the patch notes already. So don't hesitate if you want to add some stuff to what we will see today. But yeah, so let's jump into it. So the characters, the new class. Oh, actually, there is something too much in here. Yep. There we go. Sorry. So, characters, new class, Soldier, and then Revenant. So, we mentioned the name earlier. Which one did you prefer?
I'm used to the one we didn't take. Executioner is just what has been more common in the forums, in the discords, but if I'm very honest, I'm happy that the class comes and what comes with it. And
No
the
matter the
name is
name.
not really what I care much about, yeah.
Okay, so for those who know about the lore, so the Revenant was a powerful Deva, but he was taken captive, and then he lost his wings as a Deva and was brainwashed, and then came back for vengeance. So pretty much that's why we call the Revenant, because he came back. That's pretty easy actually, but so yeah. So we have the new class, the Soldier. What defines the Revenant and the Soldier as gameplay this time?
I'm happy you asked me about that and not about the lore. I'm very happy you took over that part. So gameplay wise, it is kind of a mix between melee and the range class.
Okay.
Range combat class. It's rather on the melee side. It's like a mid-range class. Like most of the attacks have around 10 meters range.
Okay.
So it's less than typical range classes, but it's more than the typical melee classes. It also has some skills that have a bit more of a range, like up to 15. Some even have 20 meters range, but the majority is it's a melee class fighter with chainsaws that extend. So even strategy-wise, then it's very interesting because you're melee, but you still have some stuff to use if you have to get back, and you can still deal damage and fight, even if you have to get back a bit. Yeah, it's more you don't deal much damage from range, but you have tools to get close again.
To get close
like you
again,
have
yeah,
a range tool to stun someone or to jump towards someone, so you get in range again.
Okay, that's very good actually, because that's the kind of gameplay I like usually.
All right, then go ahead.
I don't like to be stuck, so yeah, it's great. Just checking the chat. Don't hesitate if you have any questions. We will have like a break of sorts a bit later on. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to keep them for this time. And as usual, if we can't answer them right away, we will just gather them and we will answer them in a later stream. We'll have 2 streams. I wanted to mention that also. So we'll have 2 streams as usual, but this time we switch the order. Usually we have the gameplay first, and then we have the patch notes close to the update. This time we wanted to try to have the patch note first, and then we will have a second stream on the day of the update. So we won't be on test servers, we will be on live. So we'll have at least one other streamer at this time, so we won't reveal everything now, but yeah, we will be playing on live servers. So if you want to be around us, no issue, you can come. So yeah, so already some fixes about the Revenant.
I think I can maybe talk a little bit more about the class, because it is a really substantial part of the patch, right?
If you have more, go for it. I'm gonna go back up there.
So what's also interesting about it is that it's a leather armor class, so it's kind of rather on the squishy side. It's not a class that can tank a lot. And it is actually, I think, the first class, maybe aside of Chanter a bit, that really makes use of parry, the stat parry. It has been basically a mana stone that nobody bought, nobody needed. It was just a gap filler in the game. Nobody cared about. And I have seen the prices go up for those mana stones already.
Just because of that.
yeah. So it will use that a lot, and it will also use the knockback state a lot. Many of you guys probably know from the Ranger, obviously. And it deals a lot of damage on knockback targets. So it's kind of a class that first CCs you and then deals a great chunk of burst damage while you're CC'd.
While parrying a lot, so...
And what's also interesting about it kind of introduces a new resource. So in some way, it's a class that uses a new mechanic that didn't exist yet. Like normally you have your HP and your mana, right? And the Executioner, my bad, there you go. Revenant.
We'll get to it.
The Revenant uses a new resource. It's called, I don't know how it's called in English actually. It's charge or lightning energy. I don't know exactly what translation you will use, but there's basically a third bar, a third resource, which you start out with 0, and you have some attacks, some combos that you make charge this up, and then you have more powerful skills that use this energy.
Okay, so different skills or same skills but with increased effects?
Different skills.
Different skills,
yes.
Okay, all together.
So that's also quite a unique thing, and I think it's great if you're like getting into the game or you haven't played for a long time and you feel like, I've seen all this stuff already. There are so many players which are already kind of playing this for so long. Now it's the moment where you can
this
get
kind of
into
mechanic
something.
is a bit usual. Like even in AION Retail, I think we found that a lot. Not a lot, but we have this skill that you charge with the ED, and then you spend it.
You mean like when you press the skill
the
and
same
then
system,
it charges up and then you press again?
No, like when you fight, it charges, and then you have like an ultimate to use.
Okay. Well, there you see that I don't play retail anymore. I didn't experience this. So yeah, retail players, I guess, will find something familiar there.
Give the patch note link. So yeah, as we mentioned earlier, there is no patch notes link yet. It's only for us. So yeah, they will come later. We will announce it everywhere. Don't worry. So yeah, do you have anything to add about the class? About how it's played? Like what will be like the main role, I should say?
In first place, it's a DPS. And you can imagine it as a mix of an assassin with extendable weapons and a gladiator, because it actually has quite many AoEs, like attacks where you hit multiple targets at once. So it's kind of a bit an AoE gladiator, but it is more squishy and it is more mobile and has a bit more of a CC. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds pretty polyvalent.
Yeah.
It sounds very, very, very versatile. So yeah, I love it, and I love the weapons, the chain blades.
It looks cool. Yeah.
It is very cool. Let's face it. So yeah, that's not all that is new. So we'll have the new class. We'll also have a new area. So Telos. There is less to say about Telos. So it's the new starting zone for the soldier. Is there anything you want to mention about Telos?
I don't think so. You mentioned the most important part. It is basically...
I stole everything.
Yeah, it's basically lore-wise. It's part of the Revenant's lore, where he starts, where he discovers his story. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's up to like level 20. You are in this new zone. And
good question.
No other classes can enter there.
Yeah, it's only for and once you leave, it's.
And it's I mean it's not relevant for the end game or
it's just
for people who are interested in lore. Yeah.
So with Telos we have a new instance also, the sunken Telos. So this one will be accessible to everyone. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, up from level 51. It's an end game dungeon.
So this one will be 1 entry per week. This one we already decided. Wednesday as usual. Do you know what will be in this dungeon?
Yes, I mean there are 2 relevant parts of this dungeon. First is it brings AP as well as platinum medals. So it kinda works in a similar way as certain dungeons already do now. Namely, Esoteres is maybe a comparable one. Or in terms of AP items, the Croton, Kiesis, Myron, the Fortress dungeons, which will be removed.
Yeah.
So that is already kind of the spoiler or what you need to know about it. This is basically the replacement for those. And it's the new PvE dungeon where you get AP relics from. And another new thing is the new stigmas. We will get...
we'll mention them a bit later, but
we'll get 2 per class, and one of them is available in this dungeon. Yeah.
And are they good stigmas? Because we have the list, so we will cover it, but...
Yeah, generally, yes. I mean, obviously, every class has a different one. Some are more impactful than others, but generally speaking, these will be stigmas people will use. It will not be
just some
gathering dust in
they won't be existing, they will be used.
Yes.
So we have the Sunken Telos, then we have the Red Throne. Is it the same? No, it's not. No, it's a different dungeon. Sorry. So
this is basically the new end game dungeon.
So this is the big one.
This is the big one. This is the difficult one. This is probably a side of this liberated Beshmundir temple we had, which almost nobody managed to kill or to do. This is probably the second most difficult dungeon. Like, this is a dungeon that not everybody will be able to clear.
Oh, so you do you expect more people will be able to clear this than the liberated Beshmundir? Or?
Yes.
Okay, so more people there.
Yes, it is easier than that one, and the main reason it is more. There's more incentive to do so, because.
So, you mentioned 2 stigmas. Is the second one in this dungeon?
There you go.
I stole it again.
Yes. But the thing is, these stigmas are mostly very powerful.
Okay.
And what NCSoft tried to do with this is to get away from their approach of bringing always new weapons, new armor that you always have to upgrade. Like, you just bought your nice weapon and invested so much time and effort into it, and next day, there's already a new one you have to get. You can throw it into the bin. That's kind of something they considered.
It's a bit frustrating.
It's frustrating. So they decided to go a different approach and made the end game reward, or the reward of the end game dungeon, to be a stigma. A powerful stigma. And it is not tradable. Unless under certain circumstances. But we'll come to that later. Yeah.
So yes, it's very cool actually that we have some different kind of end-game rewards. So yeah, it's I think it's very cool.
And I'm also happy that we get some challenging PvE content.
Yeah,
I think it's most dungeons are just like, yeah, you go them. There is no question if you will succeed or not. You just know how it will be.
More farmers, but this is more challenging.
Yeah. So you might want to choose your teammates for this one carefully because you will not be able to clear it with just any random person. Yeah.
So as we mentioned, the chambers are gone. Liberated Beshmandir will be gone also. There are a few changes in the old dungeons, mostly Revenant stuff, I guess.
Yeah, like weapons were added everywhere for the Revenant. Like maybe two small things I want to point out is that there, like in some low-level dungeons, there have been stigmas dropping, and now they drop 100%. So like in Haramel, for example, where the level 20 stigmas drop that have become rare sometimes, now can be very much accessible more easily. What also was changed maybe for the Gladiator or Templar players or Chanter players is the drop rate of the extendable weapons.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
But that's, I think, the most important things.
So yeah, so some entries change. We won't go over every line, but yeah, you will have the patch notes later on, so no problem. More XP in Talok's Hollow also.
That's actually a big one.
No,
it is a lot more XP.
Okay, so it's not just more, it's a lot more.
Yes, it's really like this is the new way to level up from level 50 to level 55. Yeah.
So remember it if you want to XP the last levels. Talok's Hollow. Deathly Chamber, so number of relics change. I think it's due to the rescaling of the AP points. So like if you have different AP, you get more relics to cover for it.
I'm sorry, I lost track. Where are you? About Tempus.
Yeah,
yes, Tempus also drops exactly. It's just become easier, and also it's now a new source of the stigmas.
Yeah,
like now all kind of low level up to level 49, I think. Stigmas drop there.
That's it.
So that's it's easier and it is more useful.
And depending on the rank, I'm not sure if we have the details yet, but yeah, I think we will try to find out about it. So changes in Beshmandir, so the more chance about gear. Actually, I heard about that a lot in our meetings and stuff. This is big, right?
It is very useful. Yeah, I mean, big. It is basically the end game PvE gear, right? So, and you get. Currently, it's been like this that you either get 5 slots for mana stones for it or 6, and it's random. Mostly 5.
Yeah,
it was pretty rare to get the 6 slot, and also in the upcoming patches. For a maximum DPS, etc., obviously you have an advantage if you have the 6 slot gear. And now what has been done is they added another type of gear there, which is basically the same. It just has a name suite or supply. I'm not sure which word they go for.
I guess it would be
supply. All right.
Both, actually.
And basically it's not replacing the old drops. It's just another possible drop. So now you basically have the possibility to drop 5 slot, 6 slot, or the new one, and that has always 6 slot.
Okay, so
the chance to get a 6 slot item is higher.
Getting the 6 slots.
And what's important to mention there, these sets also have a set effect.
Yeah, so you can have a mix of both, and it will still work.
Yeah, you can combine them. So yeah.
Okay, so that's very cool actually. So more stigma from Padmarashka. So it's actually, now that we have it in details, there are a lot more ways to get stigmas. So we know it's been a big issue, and I really hope it will maybe not completely fix it, but I think there will be some. It will get better.
I can tell you that it's completely fixed. Because there's even one more way to get
I
them.
didn't say it. It's his fault, just in case.
Okay, I need to be more careful here. I see. Or I'll be held accountable for it.
But yeah.
No, seriously, there's even another way where you can exchange some of these Fortuneers tokens. It's called on Ilias. On Esmo, I think it's demon tokens. I'm not 100% I think it's demon tokens, yes. And you can exchange a relatively small amount of them for a stigma selection box of your choice for the low levels. So stigmas will be no issue anymore, and all these poor guys who had to wait and spend dozens of millions for their sage's wisdom, they will have no problem anymore. Yeah.
So hear that? You have just a few more days/weeks to wait, and
days. You said it, guys. Next we'll get a date.
So yes, Galeas is never very far. Don't worry, we didn't throw him away. So do you have anything else to mention about the old dungeons, like lower levels?
I mean, the next point is the Abyssal Splinter, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's why before we switched.
No,
okay.
I think that covers it.
So Abyssal Splinter, first access. Already we had NPCs to access it, even if we don't have the Divine Fortress.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Well, it will be great for the less populated faction, I would say,
or the less organized one. How? Yeah, indeed.
You have very polarized opinions.
I'm trying to hide them a bit, but no. Indeed, like no matter who holds the Divine Fortress can enter the dungeon, and what they also tried to, additionally to that, tried to do is to make. Currently, you can choose between a normal mode and a hard mode, and everyone just does the normal mode because the hard mode is really hard.
Okay, and you don't get necessarily that much more stuff.
Exactly. So what they didn't do is they didn't make the hard mode easier, but they increased the rewards if you do so.
Okay, so it's still as hard, but it's more interesting to try. So
yeah. So what they did is they gave AP. It's written there on the patch notes. Increased AP of the end boss of the hard mode end boss. It's not written there how much. I think if it's the same as in NA, it should be 240,000 AP, split through the group. So if you go with 12 people, which is the maximum, then you get 20k each. If you manage to do it with less, then you get more. So yeah, you get some decent AP, as well as new necklaces have been added, which you see on the next page. Yeah, these ones. They are basically PvE items, but they have very attractive magic resist stats, and they have very attractive magical accuracy stats. I would say those are probably the two biggest reasons to get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because I've seen many people ask for designs for necklaces, so that might be a good alternative to these very rare drops for recipes and stuff. Because I think at some point there were some issues because, well, some recipes are very rare, and you had the corundum glasses, I think it was, and yeah, some people are like, yeah, we can't have it, so what should we do?
Yeah, I mean there are new ways to get recipes, like they drop in more different places, but yes, it is an additional alternative, indeed.
So everything is great.
You said that. Just kidding.
No, but you're right, it's only fair. So yeah, anything else to mention about the Abyssal Splinter?
No.
So you can get in more, like you can always get in basically now. It's not easier, but you get more reward in hard mode now, so try it out. Gather your friends, your legions, and go for it. And there are new stuff, including the necklaces. Very interesting for resist magic and magic accuracy. Got that right?
Very attentive, very attentive.
I will try to remember it. Something very big also. There is a new arena.
It is, now we get to my favorite part, I think, actually.
Well, of course, competition, PvP, that's where I'm lost, but we have the experts.
Yeah, basically, there are multiple things to mention here, as you said. There's a new arena, or an old arena. Obviously, people who played AION in the past know it.
It's classic, so it's a bit of both.
Yeah. It's a 3 versus 3 arena, the arena of corporation, or harmony, I think it was even called back in the day. And it replaces, that's important, it's not additional, it replaces the current arena of chaos. So this one will be gone, as well as all the NPCs that give you rewards for it, etc. It will be fully replaced by the new 3 versus 3 arena.
And so what's important to notice, the entry time, at least for the cooperation, so this is the ranked mode, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
This one will be only from 2 p.m. From 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. So basically afternoon and evening. So you won't be able to rank on the mornings, but you will have the training part that you can do anytime. This one is free.
And I actually expect that one to become a bit of a, or it's my hope and also my expectations. It also happened in Korea actually, that this 3 versus 3 training thing has become a bit of a, there's some certain scene has developed around it among PvP players, and PvP players started to really arrange, hey, let's fight against this group and we go together.
Like to have friendly matches like in other sports or stuff. That's
exactly,
actually great.
Friendly.
Yeah, friendly in the name.
And there's why I said it's my favorite part. It's not only that this new arena is coming, there's actually other arena changes which are huge. And one of them is that you now get punished when you dodge the arena. Like when you get the entry and you don't enter, or you go in, see, I have a very dangerous opponent, I better just leave.
I will lose less points than if I actually lose.
Exactly, you didn't lose any points actually so far.
It's not at all. Okay, my bad.
And that was a big problem, yeah. And now you actually get punished, so you cannot dodge the queue anymore. You cannot leave the arena without losing ranking points.
Okay.
So the certain people in the ranking that have been dishonorably climbing the ranks will definitely disappear. So the ranking list will be a bit more displaying what it should display.
That's great. That's a great change actually, because there are the kind of topics that people often complain about, but we can't address it just right now. It takes time and usually updates. So it's very good that it happened. Also, as we were talking earlier, you mentioned like some Discord for PvP. Maybe you want to talk about it now, because you mentioned some people were creating matches around the training arena.
Exactly. Actually, I have to thank the community for this. There have been some very motivated people in the community who have set up a Discord with very strict rules that no toxicity is tolerated, no flaming, etc. And it has been up for, I think, maybe 2 months by now. So it's running quite a while.
New,
And it's really working well. Like, there are groups. Currently, we don't have 3 versus 3 option.
Yeah.
But the Dredgion 6 versus 6 has been very popular, and there have been basically there's a schedule. You can see who is playing against whom when. You can also ask for a group or register your group and ask around, does anyone want to play against us tonight at this time or whatever? And usually it's even streamed somewhere and you can watch it. And it's really a really cool project. And the only thing it's missing so far is a wider audience. So that's also why I'm mentioning it here, right?
Yeah, and you mentioned it, and I think it's very nice to have the community create such things, such spaces to play basically. So of course, if I hear about it, I want to promote it. So thank you all. I'm not sure who created it, but thank you.
I think it's Envy and Hakurin, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm forgetting someone, but yeah. And let's jump back to arenas, because there's more to change there actually. Another important thing. Here? That doesn't really matter. Maybe up there, the 0.6.
0.6?
No, 0.7, sorry. I have bad eyes. You can now purchase 2 daily arena tickets.
Okay.
That's a change. And the quest that used to give you arena tickets does not anymore. Why is that relevant? It's relevant because right now you always, every day, get 3 tickets of one arena and 1 of the other. So you either can compete in the ranking for the 1 versus 1, or for the Chaos Arena.
Okay.
Because you cannot compete there where you only get 1 ticket. That's because you will get less points than the people who can run 3 times.
Of course.
And with the new system, you get just flat 2 tickets for each arena. So you can run 1 versus 1 twice a day, and you can run the 3 versus 3 twice a day, and you can compete in both ladders.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm really happy about that. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. If you don't have to choose your ladder, it's always better. You can be the best everywhere, or the worst if we are talking about me. But yeah. So that's cool also.
What else? The Arena of Glory has also been changed to a 1 versus 1 now. It used to be a free-for-all where like 4 players all fight against each other.
Yeah, and there were some issues, of course, of teaming and everything. It's forbidden, but as always, we can't prevent it. We can only act on it after it happened. So,
and
but at least now there's no more issue.
Yeah, I think that's probably also the reason why this change even came. So yeah, in 1 versus 1 you cannot team with anyone.
You can try, but let's forfeit both at the same time. I don't know. Yeah, so that's a lot of changes actually. I didn't think we would spend so much on arenas.
Yeah. You invited the wrong guest.
Well, I mean, ION is mainly a PvP game, even though I'm more of a PvE guy. Sorry. But yeah, it's mostly made for PvP, so of course we will talk more about PvP. Do you have more you want to mention about the arenas?
No. Let's move on to the Dredgion, which also is an interesting. At least there are 2 interesting changes there.
Just before we have the penalty we mentioned for arenas, so no dredging anymore. So Dredgions.
Yeah, the big new thing is that you now can be matched against your own faction.
Okay, so that's actually cool for the most populated faction this time.
Exactly. It's cool because you can meet new opponents or compete against people you never could, even though you would maybe be curious if you could compete against them.
And I guess it would also reduce the queue times. That's the biggest point.
Yeah. Currently on Atreya, at least where I'm playing, it's like this, that the Ilios just sit in queue for up to 30 minutes, depending when they apply, and yeah, that will also. And
then you leave the computer for like 20 seconds, and that's when the queue pops and you miss it, and you're like, okay, here we go back for 30 other minutes. I know the feelings. So that's great now. So it's just 6 versus 6, but just 6 people you can fight against your faction, doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the other change which I want to mention there, or I consider worth mentioning, is the 0.3. They have increased the HP of the end boss.
Oh.
And that's has been a big issue, that he just died very, very quickly. So what happened often is that people just a group saw, oh, we have very hard opponents. We might lose in PvP against them.
Also, we just rush their boss and win.
Yeah, and
by dodging them.
It was really hard, even for good groups, to do something against this strategy, to prevent another
because the boss
team.
Was way too easy to kill.
And this is addressed in this point. I heard that it's like roughly twice as tanky as before.
Yeah, so.
I'm not 100% sure about it. It might still be not enough. I'm not 100% sure. But it is definitely a step into the right direction, and it will make rushing a little bit harder, or give you more ways to.
So it will force a bit more the PvP side of things, and So there was also new jewelry.
True. There's a new hairpin, which is basically a similar thing as in the level 50 Dredgion used to exist. There was this Lacane's handkerchief, I'm not sure how it's called. Anyway, it is a decent magic resist item that also has some PvP defense, so it was primarily interesting for magic resist or people who don't have PvP gear yet. And this is basically a similar thing, just for level 55. It's not great, it's not the best item in the game, but for someone who is kind of starting to get their PvP gear together, it can be a useful thing.
Yeah, it's like not that hard to get, but very powerful for the effort you have to put in. So very good starting gear. So you heard it here first, again. So many exclusivity on this live stream.
People will think I'm paid for being here to just say positive things, but I'm really happy about many things of this patch. So,
no, but it's great. So we love having people passionate about it. So that's why we bring more people in. So that's cool. We've had a lot already. We'll have a little break, at least for you guys on live. Yeah.
All right.
What do we think so far? So we mentioned the new class, so Soldier Revenant. We mentioned the new zone that goes with him, and especially the dungeons. So PvE dungeons, new ones. We removed the chambers and the temple, liberated temple. We have the Splinter, the changes, new arena, and many changes. So yeah, it's been a lot. What do we say? We have a first round of questions and a little giveaway.
I'm not having anything to
give away. Do you feel like being
generous?
Sounds great.
Go ahead.
What do you mean? We told you to prepare a gift. No, sorry. Let me just go to this one, because we don't want you to see what's happening behind the scene. So you know how it works. We chose a word. Well, it's actually multiple words next to each other. You will have to write it, and you will have a chance at earning a coupon, 10 euro coupons, and as we usually do. And yeah, don't hesitate if you have questions in the meantime. And Galeas will take over from me. I would actually need to show this one. Wait, actually, I need to leave at first. Because
is it my turn to work again?
We don't want to see people. We don't want people to see us working.
Okay, so the scene we're going back to is gonna be Patchnotes here. Hello, I'm back. Haha. So do I have the responsibility of rolling out the winners now?
Yes,
this is my job. Okay, I will lower down the screen a bit. Sorry, everyone, just so that I can see the chat a bit better because I'm short. I will give 2 more minutes maybe for people to type in the entry keywords in the chat, and then we're gonna raffle out the first. So how many do we raffle now? One?
One for now.
One for now. Okay. See, here we also need the little music, you know, the elevator music. Absolutely. I guess we're good. Everyone had a fair chance to register. I'll give you 30 more seconds. So it's now or never to get a chance to participate and get a chance to win an AION coupon of 10 euros. Let's go. So you will see it on live so that you see that it's not rigged, right? Everything is legit. I will press the button now. Let's go. You know this person?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, of course.
So this is rigged, right? Is it your sister or something? Damn. I knew there was something cooking. All right.
My sister. You heard that.
Let me just change the scene briefly because we're gonna fall back to the patch, which is here. And here we are back. So congrats to the winner. I already forgot the name, but
it's all saved.
But Drestam is taking care of that. I'm just here for the lols, right? I'm not in charge or anything. No, I'm joking. Project is no Galeas. Yeah. The name plates are a bit messed up, but it's all good. So before we fall back to the patch notes, maybe we take this opportunity to talk a bit about content creators, right? Well, you're one of them. I'm in charge of them, so I guess it's the best duo to speak about that. Together with the update, there will be a campaign starting I teased it to you guys already a couple of days ago. So as you know, for those that have been playing already and following, we had what we called community achievements, which was more or less goals that the communities of streamers needed to achieve so that their favorite content creators would get codes that would give out rewards eventually, and those codes you would distribute it to your communities, right?
Exactly.
This time we decided to go for a bit of a different approach. Still gonna be beneficial for you, the players and the communities, but this time your favorite CCs, content creators, will get stuff to do and goals to achieve. Yeah, this guy. And get stuff to achieve. So for instance, he will have to stream, I don't know, I'm saying random numbers because I don't have everything at hand, but like 10 hours in the first week. And if he does, it's gonna get codes. And by watching him, you're gonna basically be able to get those codes raffled, or you will organize it however you like. So there's gonna be news announcing how the content creation campaign works, but mostly in a big line, like a big picture. So we will explain like what type of reward you can get, and then it's gonna be up to you guys to go to the channels of those guys on Twitch or YouTube, depending on who you're following, and they will explain to you what needs to be achieved exactly in the details. And there's going to be individual goals. So Project, Lorelei and all the people will have like goals to achieve. Then they will get codes. But also as a community, they will all work together. So if all together, all the ION CC reach, I don't know, a peak CCU, so connection on Twitch or viewers of, I don't know, 500, then the whole community would be rewarded in form of a survey in game with like plenty of gifts. So it's not a competition between streamers, it's more like a collective effort, and in the end everyone will benefit from it. Not only the people that are watching you, but also the whole community. So I think it's a pretty interesting campaign, and we'll see the outcome when it goes live on release day. That's when it will start, then it will go on for more or less a month. I think you wanted to mention something else about content creators.
I kind of already did. It was about this PvP Discord.
Yeah, it was the PvP. Okay, so, yes. Sorry, I had in the back of my mind and there was something you want to mention. So in general, if you want to follow ION content creators, you go on Twitch or YouTube. On Twitch, there is a community with the list of all the people that are in the program, and they also have the pink role on the official Discord. And yeah, if you're not following anyone yet, then you just go check it out and then follow your favorite person. There are plenty of different profiles here, people that do different stuff, people that are into theory crafting and really advanced stuff, people that are more casual. So yeah, there should be suitable people for you guys. I would say that's it for content creators for now, if I didn't forget anything. I think now we can fall back to what everyone is asking for, which is the patch notes. So we stop at the Book of Legends.
The Book of Legends, indeed.
So what is the Book of Legends?
Yeah, it's basically a new kind of puzzle, one could say. You gather pieces that drop from mobs. You use them to gather pieces of a puzzle.
So in form of a loot, right? Like you loot items on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's basically the more pieces of the puzzle you get, there's like an image of a Tiamat or whatever, something known from the lore. And when you complete one of these puzzles, you get some bonus stats. But disclaimer here, this might sound like a very big thing. It is not. It is. It's
more maybe for collectioners and people that like to, or when you have some time to kill and.
Exactly. It's
like
either
a side activity, right? Something like that.
It's either for people who really enjoy this collecting stuff, or it's for people who really got everything achieved already and want to
maximize.
Min-max, get the absolute last piece of thing they can get and do. That's also for them. But in general, the stats you get from these things are very small. Like you get 5 crit or 1 attack or 1 magic resist or something in this area of size, just that you get an idea. It's
okay,
not,
so it's
nothing
just like
game-changing.
a nice smaller bonus, let's say, for people that...
At most.
Yeah,
It could maybe even be said it's irrelevant. It's just like, yeah.
But you know,
if you need something to
for
do.
people who like to make collections, nothing's ever irrelevant, right?
I mean, in terms of stats, combat stats it provides.
Exactly. In terms of impact, let's say it's not as big, but in terms of one additional thing to do, it's still interesting. All right, that's it for the Book of Legends. Now, how about we go to the Moeth Chronicle of Time? I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. I guess some people will kill me in the chat that it's not like that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a similar thing. It's also a new system that you can level up, and the maximum level is 50. It is also rather low impact. It is kind of works a little bit like a Damage Godstone does.
Mm-hmm.
And it only works on Balaur mobs.
Okay.
And only on common mobs. So it doesn't work on bosses. It only kind of speeds up your clearing time of ordinary Balaur mobs, and you can imagine it as a pretty similar to a 10% damage Godstone damage wise, but it only has like a 5% up to 10% proc chance. So it's kind of a very small damage that increases a little bit, and also the probability that it gets triggered increases a little bit the further up you level it. But it's just a little bit of extra. It's not really relevant.
So then if that one is not that big, then I suggest we move on to the next big chunk, let's say, which is the changes with the legions.
Yeah.
Because there is a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Yeah. First, there are new daily and weekly quests, which you can do together in a legion. To give you an example, if you have to kill a certain mob, if you do it by yourself, it gives you 1 kill, or it gives your legion 1 kill as a contribution. But if you do it as a group of 6, all from your legion, you get 6.
Yeah.
So it's kind of reasonable to do it together. It's also rather easy quests, like nothing crazy where you need to put a lot of effort. And by doing that, you earn yourself Legion coins, which you can use for different things. Either you can use them to get bags, reward bags that contain AP, as well as the shards of the medals of the current patch. So currently it would be platinum medal shards, or fragments it's called, sorry. And in the next patches, it will be like the black gold medal, then
it will
medal,
follow
whatever,
up on the and update. Yeah.
So that's one thing you get from them, and what you can do is grind some more of them, and you can basically invest into a legion buff. Every legion can choose 1 out of 3 options. It's either a buff for PvP damage, for PvP defense, or for PvE damage.
All right.
And there's a maximum per day you can invest into this legion buff. It also improves over time. Like the higher you level it, the more it is invested, the stronger it gets. And it takes a pretty long time to max, actually. I think if you do the daily maximum every day, it takes you about 70 to 80 weeks to max it out.
So it's really a collective effort for the whole legion to do it consistently so that you reach an interesting, let's say, level, right?
Yeah.
How long does the buff last when you activate it?
I think 2 hours.
Okay.
1 or 2 hours, but it cannot be used in arena, but yeah. And it's also, like, to give you a rough idea of how strong this buff is, it's around, like, for example, it's around 100 HP, 50 strike resist, 1.5 PvP dive defense, a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how much you leveled it. So maybe maximum 2% minimum like 0.5%.
So I see a question here that I think is relevant. Is there a minimum legend level to start doing the legend quests? I assume yes, right?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Don't think so, but I don't know.
So maybe that's something we can check for next time. For the next stream, that's a question we can cover. We can get you like a certified answer on that. We will get our best team on the topic, and yeah, we can get. We don't want to say something if we're not 100% sure. All right.
What I can tell though is that you need, like a question I often saw regarding this topic is, can you also do that if you're like a solo player in your legion, or you're just
you just
very
create your
small?
own legion?
No, it's more like, oh, I think you touched the button there.
Okay, so it's okay. We can fall back to here, and we'll restart the computer. So one of the computers got turned off by accident. Yeah, please go on with the legion.
Yeah, so like many people were asking themselves if everyone's contribution.
Middle right.
Yeah, I need to press the button.
I'll just keep
it's in the middle.
Yeah, okay. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Galea screwed up by pressing the power button on the PC with his feet.
Okay, so people are worried that if everyone's contribution matters, that like big legions with many people would have an easier time to level this up, right? Than if you're alone in your legion or you're just 2-3 friends, you might just not be able to gather the resources needed for investing into this bank. So what you can do, what you need to know is in order to reach the maximum possible limit per day for the whole legion, you need 6 people to do it.
Okay.
So if you're less than 6 people, then you will progress slower. But with 6 active people, you can progress in the same pace, same speed as a legion with 70 people. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
nice. I'm reading the chat a bit, checking if there are any questions regarding that. This guy is the board. No, we are not related. That's I don't know how you would come up to such a conclusion.
Related? Us?
Yes.
Yeah, we have a similar hair, right?
Yeah.
Curly guys.
Do we? Okay. Yeah, we didn't think about that. So the next topic, I'm restarting the PC, but I can see what we have anyway on the menu. The next topic would be probably about. So, is there anything about the Legion? Any other changes that you want to mention, or that is?
I think that's the most important.
I think we covered
stuff,
it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The next one, which is also a big part, I mean, in terms of importance, is the global auction house, right?
Yes, that's. I'm very sure that many people are listening very carefully now. That's kind of been a big question for a long time already. If it comes and when it comes, it is finally here. The so-called Kuna store. And it is coming with this patch, yes. And what it basically is, it is a common warehouse or broker for all servers and all factions. This brings some advantages with it because, for example, certain mana stones are much more accessible on Ilia's side than on Asmo's side. And when everyone shares the same broker, prices on the Asmo side, for example, will obviously go down. And some things that you maybe are more farmed on a server or on Atreya and less farmed on Tahabata or so will not matter anymore, right? Because you can just buy the stuff from the other server. So that's an advantage of it. Now, it is a controversial thing because it works with Kuna. Mm-hmm. So people are worried about the pay-to-win aspect of it because you can just charge up your Kuna and buy basically everything that is inside this broker with it. It is a valid concern. I cannot say much about it, but
maybe that's an answer we can cover for the next stream. Like if Kuna is going to be usable for the global auction house.
I'm pretty sure.
But that should be the case. Yeah. But we can also talk about it next time.
Totally, yeah. As usual, we will gather questions that we don't have the answer right now. I will gather them.
Next time on, I was about to say the date. Yes, you can have a look. Without mentioning the date, when we have the release, there are hands moving around. When we have release happening on that day, we'll be streaming, and then we'll probably be able to do more of a FAQ with you guys, and also show you directly in game the stuff, so that will help also. I'm just checking out if there are any more questions regarding that. Thank you, Dredgion, for helping out.
Maybe I can say something about that, which is a bit misleading or could be misleading. Like, it's written in the patch notes everywhere. It was the same on NA, it was the same on Korea, that all tradable materials can be traded in there. While this is correct, if you read this line, you would maybe assume it means that untradable things cannot be traded, and that's not true.
Okay.
Not completely. So there are some untradable items which can be traded in this broker. Examples would be this new stigma from the new endgame dungeon, for example.
Okay.
So that's just something you
have to keep it in mind, because that's kind of counterintuitive, right? With the stuff that is supposed to be untradeable and is actually tradable to the global exchange, but still is untradable between players, right? Yes. I assume. Yeah. So it's an exception just for the global auction house for such items.
But what cannot be traded there is like AP weapons, AP gear, such things you cannot trade there. But certain things like these new stigmas, also the weapons from the new agent battle, which we'll cover a bit later, from Vale and Mastarius, they also can be traded there, while they cannot be traded normally. But yeah, just to mention a few examples.
All right. Then I'm checking my list for the next topic would be the Lord's Agent, I guess.
Is it the next one already? Oh yeah, perfect.
Yes, it is.
Matches perfectly. Yeah, that's actually also quite a big new thing, content-wise. It's old veteran players know Vale and Mastarius. They used to be in the 2.5 patch, which they were not on Classic. Some were wondering where are they hiding. And now they come back in a new form. And it is basically a weekly siege. I would almost call it a siege.
Okay.
Because these two guardians, let's call them, or agents, they appear once a week on Friday evening at 10 p.m. I think it was. Either in Galkmaros or in Ingizan, right next to each other, like alternating, like first week in Galk, then in Ingizan, etc. And the Ilias obviously try to kill Mastarius, while the Asmodeans try to kill Vale, and you get the faction who kills their target first gets the higher rewards. Also, there are individual contributions, like similar to Siege. That's why I called it a Siege. Like you get a rank 1 reward or a rank 2 or 3 reward depending of how much you contributed. And the tricky thing about it is it's not just the PvE race who kills the boss faster. It's also because they're just stand next to each other, obviously there will be a lot of PvP and it will be a big mess.
We love that, right? Don't we? We all love a good mess from time to time.
So yeah, that will happen once a week, and they drop new endgame weapons, which are really strong for some classes, a bit less strong for others. And there also come the new extendable weapons, as well as the first and best cast speed mace in Classic. So for all clerics out there, this will be an extremely interesting and important thing.
Okay, actually maybe we could go back to the scene with the patch notes. Let me try it briefly. Yes, we are back. Yeah, the technical difficulties are solved, but I mean, yeah, we were not really lost. We knew where we were going. Is there anything else we should mention for Lord's Agent? I guess you did mention everything, right?
Yeah.
Next on the line would be the open world changes.
Yeah, there have been some adjustments to the maps. Currently, there are these 3 different zones in Gelkmoros and Ingison, right? One where the fortresses are. That's basically where all the PvP action happens. A little bit of it happens in Zone 2, but there's not much incentive to go there because the fortresses aren't there. And Zone 1, which is even completely out of bounds for PvP. And there are like big gates that are separating these 3 areas. And what is going to happen now is basically these gates will be opened and there will be new artifacts placed over the map in the different zones. And these artifacts can be captured by either faction. And whoever captures it can do daily and weekly quests on these artifacts. So what that basically means, it's gonna spread the population. It has been very surgy and crowdy in these areas where everything was going on so far, and now it will spread a bit more over the map. There will be PvP encounters going on more different places over the map, as well as these weekly quests will be done, which are necessary and mandatory in order to get the new wings, the best wings in the game, as well as Kina. Important issue. It has been complained a lot.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention it actually, like, because people earlier were asking how can I make Kina now in the game with this patch, and I think you told me that there are new ways now.
Yeah.
Right?
Related to these quests as well as the kill quest, it's often like kill quests, PvP quests. They give Kina now. Every day you get Kina from these quests. To give you a rough idea, it's about 500k per day from these quests, which is not a whole much, but it is a little bit, and there comes more to it. There are these bosses, like the world bosses on the maps, like Nashuma, Malekor, Sukana, whatever. Also the big ones, obviously the agents we've just been talking about, as well as Omega and Ragnarok. All these bosses are already now being killed for these items, Fighting Spirit agates, which are items for future patches. But they will drop a whole lot of Kina from that one. So to give you a rough idea, the small ones can drop from like 5 to 20 million Kina. The very big ones from 70 to up to 200 million Kina per boss. And that's splitted among, depending how many people do it.
People from the party, right?
So I guess on average, you probably, if you do all these bosses frequently, you can probably make around 10 million a day just by doing these bosses. And if you are lucky and manage to sneak a big boss with a small amount of people, obviously you can get much more and earn quite a big amount.
So I see someone complaining that we scroll through the skills. Yeah, we won't go through all the skills today because the list is long and it's gonna be the most boring content if you review every skill change. Yeah, that might. I mean, you will have it anyway when the patch notes is gonna be live.
Maybe if we have time, we can just go over the big stigmas we mentioned earlier. Like the very important ones.
It's kind of hard to tell which ones are very important. That's really controversial.
We'll see about it.
But what's very important, and I think it might be that this person who asked this question, why they are curious about it, is because of the details. 2.7 in NA as well in Korea has been split in 2 patches, and there has been a first version of these skills, and later on there has been a balance update, basically, and the weak skills, or the skills that were considered not cool enough, have been improved. And very many people, also among the ones I know, were curious if we get basically the beta version or if we already get the improved ones. And this is seen here on the patch note already. We actually will get the improved ones directly.
Okay, so that's like important information. I think many people were asking. I'm checking the chat, that's why I'm posing. If we have more questions specifically about this, topic. So yeah, as we said, probably the skills is something we will review when we go live for the next stream, when we'll be in game.
We'll show a few because we'll be playing.
Yeah, we'll be playing and then we'll show the skills. And anyway, you will have the full list when the patch notes are live in the upcoming days, let's say. Then you will be, you can sit down and relax and check the skill changes. Checking for some more questions eventually. I think that from the list, no, the next, what was the next that we, next topic was new stigmas, items and NPCs. It's a big chunk because there are several things there. Is there anything major we should mention here? Maybe the stigmas? No, we did talk about the stigmas already, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically what could be done is to go through the all of them, the individual skills, but yeah, I think we covered that in general already.
Okay, the skills, I'm scrolling up. Those are the items. Just 1 second. So I will put it visible for those who are really interested. And meanwhile we can keep on talking anyways. Okay, checking for some questions. If you have questions now, please ask them. We'll try to answer a few if we can. And if not, then we'll jump to the next step. I think the next step would be a raffle again, right, Dresden? Or
yes, we're getting closer to the end actually.
We're getting closer to the end, yes. Yes.
And you have the key, so you can choose this time the words, the magic words.
So, question. I think you know the answer. Project on NAD increase the XP obtained from mini bosses in Talok's Hollow.
Yeah, we already had that.
Yeah. So, as we said earlier, it's going to be a very good source of getting XP and leveling up from 50 to 55.
To max.
To max, yeah. Will the new Twisted Dropney Cave instance be available in dispatch? We didn't mention it.
No, I also don't know about it. I mean, the only changes to Dropney Cave will be that the Bakarma pole will drop. The drop chance of the extent is increased, and I think there are less entries, like only 3 per week or something.
Is project available for Dread and Tiok tonight? I think is gonna be busy tonight. I can answer. Yes, but nice try. I mean, never waste an opportunity, I guess. Will the Kuna shop get more skins weekly? I don't have specific information about that, so we'll have to wait and see.
I think we will keep the same.
I think the pace will be the same, right? I didn't hear of any change of like increasing the pace, as far as I know.
Maybe I will get poked with.
Yeah, but ION GD will probably poke us now, saying yes or no. So yeah, that's.
As far as I know, we still the same pace even for the shop skins, like the Ion Coins one. So.
Scroll down on the page. Yes, I can scroll down so that you can check more skills if you want while we are chatting.
I'm really happy that you're reading the questions out loud, by the way. I'm really struggling to see it, to read it from here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more, many are like rhetorical questions more than actual questions. Anything new for Revenants to catch up with gear? I think that's something you mentioned earlier, didn't you? So if you start Revenant now so that you can catch up faster with people that have been playing other classes before.
I didn't read what. No, we didn't really mention it. I think what this person who was asking is referring to, as far as I know, in Korea and in NA, there were like certain battle passes or event passes or beginner passes, which brought some decent PvP gear, and they came like. In order to make us a new start with Revenant, for example, easier. And I don't really know. I think we don't really know right now. Maybe that's a question also
there will be news about similar stuff coming soon. So,
but as far as I know, this level 50 gear in the pass has come in 2.8 and not in 2.7 yet.
So actually, I gathered 2 more questions that we might want to tackle next time if you don't have the answers the rest time. I'm pointing because Restam is just sitting here on the couch next to us and is the source of knowledge for such questions. 2 were like, will we increase the number of character slots?
Yes.
Since there is the new class, so I guess yes, right?
Yes, it will go to 9 if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you will be able to have 9 characters per account.
Yeah, usually whenever we add a class,
Yeah,
we also add the
slots.
corresponding slots. And I saw it way earlier. Will we have new servers or a new server for the launch of the Revenant?
As far as we're planned, we still have.
So unless we're full stacked, right, and we absolutely need to open one, it's not really planned by default, right?
Yeah.
That's the.
For now, we still have Aturia in Tahabata.
Yeah. But yeah, I prefer answering because some people were asking.
And I know some people have been asking for a merge.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
is also not planned for now.
Okay, I will keep on scrolling down if someone is checking the skills. Launch events. Yeah, someone is asking about launching events for 2.7. That's not something we plan to communicate on now.
So we'll have a few. I won't give details now. There will be news coming until between now and the update. So just stay tuned. Check out.
But there will be events. That's what I mean.
There will be events.
Yeah, there will be events.
I
mean, as far as I know, we had events that were quite appreciated lately, or at least the rewards that you could get out of it. So yeah.
Actually, that is a question for myself as well. I know that in America and in Korea there has been a special event for the first week where you could enter this new hard dungeon, endgame dungeon, more often than usual, just additional for the first entries, week. Yeah. And that would be very interesting to know if we could get something like that as well.
Well, I can't give details about what's happening or what's not happening, but I will definitely talk about this. So
yeah. I'm pausing. I'm reading again a bit. I think for the patch notes topics we covered most of the stuff we wanted to cover, right? If I didn't forget anything. Items, we won't go through the full list of items. That's what's remaining here. I will scroll down a bit and just check out. And NPCs, same, unless there is a very important new NPC that we didn't mention yet. Quests, same, we won't go through all the quests. Definitely, that will be for you to check later. Yeah. So, same question as usual about the loot. Are there any changes? So, as far as I know, there are no loot changes planned.
We're keeping the official rights, so no,
yes,
no change.
The ones we had, basically. So more crafting information, miscellaneous UI, graphics, sound, yeah, and we reached the end. So I guess that would be it for today. I think we went pretty far already with some of the stuff, and I think you pointed out the stuff that is the most relevant or interesting for players, for now at least. Yeah, for players like. Yeah. And I'm gonna give everyone maybe 2-3 more minutes. If you have any more questions that we can answer today, and I'm gonna only pick up questions from the chat if I know we have the answer. And after that, maybe Dredgion will come back. We can have the final raffle. We can say our goodbyes to everyone.
Let's do that.
Okay, I will change the scenery. Which one was it?
The right one.
The idol. Yes, so that you don't see Dredgion just walking in front of the screen.
No, you can stay here.
And we will fall back. Turbo Nugget, a very interesting question about Shugos. Why am I playing this game and I still have 0 Shugo in my room? Can you answer this question?
I'd say you need to participate in more contests.
I guess there are stuff planned for the 2.7, right?
For 2.7, I'm not. I will need to check. I don't think we have, but it will happen soon. We'll have stuff prepared.
Population, no server merge planned for now.
So, yeah,
probably, I would say the logical thing to do would be to wait to see what's happening with 2.7, because obviously there's going to be new players or returning players, and then probably the situation is going to be evaluated again. Yeah, we don't need to plate. Okay, because yeah.
So regarding population, I will just, so that you can clip it, I will say it only in one go. We won't have a new server with 2.7, and we won't be merging servers with 2.7. So we still have Atra and Tarabata, and it won't move for now.
Yeah, I think there are not so many new questions now, or let's be harsh and say relevant questions.
That means we informed well, right?
yeah. No, I'm joking around, of course. I'm taunting a bit. After all those years being taunted as a CM, it's a payback. No, seriously speaking, we will be back anyways in not so long. You said a few days, right? So I'm gonna hold you on to that. We'll be back in a few days for another stream. There will be news, of course, on the usual channels, informing you about what's coming. But I think now you got a bit of a better idea of what's coming after watching this. Raffle?
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think they deserved it?
I will say yes.
Stirring up the pot.
People always deserve gifts. So we're gonna have to choose another keyword.
You have the keyboard.
Any ideas? What did we say earlier? We had an idea for one. Yeah. No.
Bye bye executioner.
So I should actually show my screen so that people can see what they need to type in, and it's gonna be the patch notes. Okay, so this is your keyword.
This is a new word. And all the reference in what is happening is totally not wanted.
So yeah, we'll give you 1 or 2 minutes to type the correct term, and then we raffle. How about we go for 2 codes now?
Two?
Or
Yeah,
we only have 1 left. Okay,
no,
let's be generous and we'll go for 2. Okay. Giving people a chance. And while we do it, we would like to thank Project for coming over.
Well, thanks for having me.
Really nice to have you around. We will try to keep on having content creators, game specialists from the community, because we think it's a great asset for those streams. And it's way more interesting to listen to those guys than me and Dresden, with all due respect, right?
Yeah, don't worry. I think the same.
So we will keep on doing that in the future. We hope you guys appreciate it too, but as far as I know from the last time, that's the positive feedback we got.
Yeah, I had many people asking me, because like people guessed that 2.7 was getting closer, sorry. And yeah, I had many people asking me, hey, will you have another content creator? Who will it be? Did you choose? Please let it be. I won't say every name, but yeah, but basically the communities love having
I mean, usually people have their
right?
favorite. Everyone
Yeah,
has their favorite content creator. Okay, so I'm gonna raffle the first name then. I think everyone had enough time. I'm gonna cough first. That's it. And let's roll the first name.
And no date yet for 2.7. It's
Yeah.
coming soon, but no date yet.
You know how we do it, like since quite some time now. We don't really give a date until the last
Until we're dead sure, like 100%
last
sure.
days, and we think it's healthier for everyone.
Yeah,
in the
we
end.
absolutely don't want to give a date and then not
And disappoint people.
yeah,
and
not live up to it. So yeah,
yeah, because we're never too sure.
it happened too much.
Okay, let's roll. roll it.
They see me roll it.
So how's
How's
SP? I guess that's how you say it.
Congrats. So don't
Um,
worry. Just for those who want the giveaways, I will contact you most probably tomorrow on Twitch directly. So make sure either you have your DMs open or you send a DM to Drestam, to my account, so that I can send you a message.
Yeah. Don't panic. You will get poked.
You will get your coupon.
Okay.
So second one?
Yeah.
So
I need
how's
to
SP?
roll again. And another ranger.
Oh.
Honestly, yeah, okay. I see a pattern. So what if it's a ranger again the third time? Then it's
then
suspicious.
we roll again. So we roll until it's not a ranger.
I have my fingers in there.
Yeah, okay. Third name, third winner.
Black Eagle. That sounds like a ranger.
Probably the guy's gonna say, I'm a ranger. We need proof. All right.
Are you a ranger?
So congrats to the winners. As we said before, you get a coupon that you can use in the shop as a mean of payment, and then you get some ION coins that you can use however you like in the ION shop. That's how it works. Another ranger. Damn.
Now for real?
Maybe it is.
Do you know this person and is he or
But
she
maybe
a
it's because ranger is the coolest class and there are so many people playing
that's
it.
True. That's true.
That
Very
could be the
true.
reason. Okay, I think we're not gonna stretch it unnecessarily any longer.
I think we tackled everything we wanted.
Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in and following this stream. Always a pleasure for us to have a chat with the community, introduce you to the new content.
It's actually the first stream of 2024. Last time was in December.
It is. So there's gonna be another one in
very
24,
soon.
right? For sure. Have a nice evening. Enjoy. See you very soon, and see you on ION Classic, of course. Bye bye.
Thank you.